Hello yoga friends. We're going to do a short little video on feet. Our feet are really essential for all our standing work and how we feel during the day, and sometimes we don't even know how much tension we have in all these bones and joints and muscles and tendons in our feet. So just begin. You can be seated and elevated. If this is too hard on your knees or your knees are coming up too much, just go on your bolster or go on something a little more elevated underneath your pelvis. So the first thing we're going to do is take our strong hands, which I hope after working on the other videos your hands are starting to feel a little stronger. We're going to take our thumbs and our fingers and we're going to massage all the great places in our feet. Now, careful on the arch of your foot because that's a really sensitive place, but the ball of your foot, your heel, boy, they can take a lot of beating, a lot of love, not a lot of beating. So we're just going to keep working our fingers up the tops, the shoelace side of your feet, so you can really feel where the tension might be. I'm feeling the tops of my feet today, so I'm really going to give them a little bit more attention. And of course, if you're doing this at home, you easily can give yourself exactly what you need. You can take your thumbs and go into the heels. Those are a little less sensitive. And you might even want to go into the back of your ankle and just give it a little bit of love as well. Okay. So we're going to do one foot at a time. So you're going to take your hands and bring your knees up, and you can have your leg down like this as well, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to show you the variation on each side. You're going to take your foot, put it on the outside, and you're going to get into the ball of the foot, the same thing that we just did, just to find out a little bit more of how that foot feels. And then you're going to take your fingers and interlock or interweave your fingers, and don't go too crazy because this is pretty intense, and some of my toes are really close and some have a lot of space in them, and you're going to just interweave. You can see how pink the tops of my fingers are from being pinched, and we're going to do something called a cheese grater. This is kind of fun. This is a good way to remember some of these things. You're going to grate the cheese as if you had a fabulous piece of Parmesan and rotate. I'm hearing clicking in the ankle. That's all great. And then going into the other direction and just really exploring where all of that is. And then you may want to work your fingers down a little bit more because your fingers are warming up the joints of your toes. Yeah, and so then I want you to curl your toes into your fingers and your fingers into your toes. Oh my goodness, and go for it here. Like just really feel that. And then, pop your hand out. Okay, we're gonna make a fist with our hands. And remember I said that the ball of your foot and the heel, they can take a lot. The instep, the arch of your foot, not so much. So we're going to take our fist and we're going to give the bottom of our feet some real pounding to wake those bones and those muscles and those tendons. And believe me, your foot really likes this. You can probably you don't want to bruise yourself, but you can pretty much pound it as hard as you can and get into your heel and maybe along the side of your foot, but not so much in the arch. We're going to work on the arch in one moment. So keep going. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then we're going to take our hand, and it's a cupped feeling, and we're going to give a really great, loud high five to the arch of our foot. So I'm going to try to make them really loud. So, whoa, that was a good one. Whoa! Whoa! So you try to do it as loud as you can and do it a few times and you're going to feel really nice tingly feeling into that foot. Yes. Now we're going to do on on this foot, where the left foot is on the floor, I call this the rainbow pose. So I'm going to take my left hand and pull. It's just kind of a stabilizing thing with the left hand. Pull the heel down, and then take the other hand, and the side of your foot is on the floor, and you're going to try, when you look down, you kind of think it looks like a rainbow on the inside of your foot. And this is just, oh, it just feels so good. For those of you who wear high heels, or for those of you who have feet issues, or those of you who don't treat your feet like the important things they are, this will feel fantastic. Okay, so you pull, and then you release. And the next thing I've named it the taco. So what you're going to do is, I'm just going to show here, you're going to take your hands so that you are going to pull the top, the shoelace side of your feet open. And this is going to create, the thumbs on the inside, when you do that, it's going to create a space, a virtual space for taco fillings. So you're going to go all the way around as if you're making a taco shell, and you want to pull those toes and those joints apart on the shoelace side of your feet. You're not really working at the toes, you're working at the joints. It's an awful lot of bones in your feet, so that just feels so good. Whoa. And then if we were doing a regular practice, and I would encourage you to do this, if you're at home doing this, is to actually stand up at this point and feel the difference between your left and your right foot. You can also feel the difference just right now. And it's a sensation that goes, even though we were only looking or working at our left foot level, it's actually a sensation that comes all the way up. So that's a very cool thing. Bend your right knee, or doing the other one. And then again, wake up the bottom of your foot, massage the top of your foot with your fingers. Doing this also really increases the strength of your hands and opens up those joints as well. So it's kind of a cool thing to do, because you're getting kind of a double for your money, for your effort. You're going to start to weave. Remember, each foot is different. Weave each finger between those toes. Oh, you can see, I don't know if you can see how the tips of my fingers are so red from being squished. And then we're going to do the cheese grater. So we rotate in one direction, ooh, and then the other. We're warming up the joints, but also the fingers are warming up the spaces between those toes. And the space between the first and the second toe are essential for maintaining balance. And maintaining balance and knowing where the earth is for our entire life. So we really want to keep that space alive. We want to keep the first and the second toe alive, active, strong. Okay, so now we're going to squish. So you're going to squish your toes towards your fingers, and your fingers towards your toes, and you're going to squish, squish. Oh my goodness, squish. Oh, it's a lot. And then can hardly separate them. Okay, so now we take our fingers. We're going to take the palm of our hand and a fist, make a fist. You can almost look and see it flattening the bottom of your foot. Oh, that's a good sound too. Oh. Yeah, you don't need music for this. You can do it without music. And now the virtual high five, our favorites. So you're going to take the palm of your hand so that the air is going to be, contained here, and you're going to go into the instep. Oh! I can't help but laugh at this. Okay. Oh, that's so good when you stop. Okay, rainbow. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to pull that right heel down. Take the left hand and you're going to pull. Oh, and that feels good too. Really, really pull it. The feet can take a lot of encouragement, can take a lot of movement. There's a lot of things happening there. And you can improve your feet so much by just doing these simple things. Improve your balance, improve your connection to the floor, improve your standing work. If you have a day when you have a little bit more extra time before you start your practice with me, I would suggest that you do this work and open up your feet. Oh, that feels good. And now taco stall. You can take your fingers on the outside, whoop, a little cramp, and you're going to pull. And you're going to take your thumbs and try to press. So you're pulling the bones on the shoelace side of your feet open. You can feel them too. Some of them are a little bonier than others. Oh, I've got a crack. That's great. Okay. And then just extend. Oh, this one is still tingly from the virtual or the actual high five. And then just feel the impact. You may want to even close your eyes and feel the impact all the way along your right leg. And now your left foot and your right foot are fully awake. Thanks so much for joining me.